It already knows which side of the bed you sleep on. Not because it stumbled there by accident. Not because it wandered in from the cold looking for warmth. It knows because it has been watching. For weeks, possibly months. Cataloging your movements, your rhythms, the exact time the light goes dark and the room goes still. And every single night, while you drifted into unconsciousness, it sat motionless in the corner above your headboard and waited. The house spider. You probably glanced at it once, maybe twice. You told yourself it was harmless. Maybe you even left it there on purpose because you heard somewhere that they eat mosquitoes. And that is the story most people tell themselves. A harmless tenant, a quiet roommate, a creature that simply exists in the margins of your life. That story is wrong. What is sitting in the upper corner of your bedroom right now is not a passive inhabitant. It is an active intelligence, a surveillance organism that has been operating a precision mapping program inside your home since the moment it arrived. And the bedroom is not where it ended up by chance. The bedroom is where it chose to be. To understand why, you have to understand what a house spider actually is at the level of its operating system. The species most commonly found inside human homes across the world belongs to a group called the cobweb spiders, with the common house spider, Peristeatoda tepidariorum, being the dominant architect of indoor webs in temperate climates. But the mechanics of how it processes its environment are what make it genuinely unsettling once you understand them. A house spider does not have the visual resolution to watch you the way you might watch it. Its eyes are primitive by primate standards. What it possesses instead is a sensory network of extraordinary precision, built directly into its body and into every strand of the web it constructs. The web is not a trap, not primarily. The web is an extension of its nervous system, a living sensor array spread across whatever surface it has claimed. Every vibration that moves through the air, through the wall, through the floor, travels into that web. The spider sits at the hub and reads it the way a seismologist reads a tremor map. It knows when you shift weight. It knows when you close a door. It knows the low-frequency thud of your footsteps coming down the hall versus the sharper, lighter tap of a child or a smaller person. It has been learning the specific acoustic signature of your movements since the day it anchored its first thread to your wall. And this is not metaphor. This is not anthropomorphization for dramatic effect. This is the documented mechanical reality of how cobweb spiders monitor their environment. The slit sensilla along their legs, structures so sensitive they can detect substrate vibrations below 1 micrometer in amplitude, feed a continuous stream of environmental data directly into their central nervous system. They are, in the most literal sense, always listening. Now, back to the bedroom. The reason the spider chose this room over any other is a calculation rooted in pure predatory logic. The bedroom is the room in your home with the highest concentration of stationary, warm, slow-moving biological activity for the longest uninterrupted block of time every single cycle. You sleep there for 6 to 8 hours. You move predictably. You create a consistent microclimate of warmth and exhaled carbon dioxide that draws the very insects the spider hunts. And critically, you are not a threat when you are unconscious. The corner above the headboard is not an accidental placement either. Corners are structurally superior anchoring points for the web. 3-dimensional tension, maximum geometric stability with minimum silk expenditure. From that corner, the spider has a direct vibrational line through the wall and ceiling to the entire room. It does not need to see you, it can feel you. What it has built over weeks is a behavioral map, a pattern recognition system assembled from thousands of micro-observations. It knows that at a certain time each night, the large vibrations stop. It knows that the consistent, low-frequency sound that fills the room during your waking hours ceases. It knows that the light source goes dark. These are not things it understands conceptually. They are triggers, environmental cues that have been wired into its behavior through a process that is older than the concept of intelligence itself. The spider does not think in the way you think. but it responds to your patterns with a reliability that mimics knowledge. There is a phase of spider behavior researchers call positional adjustment. This is the period shortly after a new spider establishes in a location when it makes a series of small, deliberate relocations. It moves a few centimeters, waits, moves again. Each time it is not running. It is recalibrating, testing the web geometry, sampling the vibration landscape from a new anchor point. Over the course of days and weeks, this process produces what behavioralists describe as a settled position. The spider has found the exact point in its territory that gives it the most comprehensive sensory coverage of its environment. In your bedroom, that settled position is almost always in an upper corner. And once it is there, it rarely moves during daylight hours. It waits. Because it has already done the work. The map is built. The patterns are logged. All it needs to do now is execute. Here is what the execution looks like. During the hours when you are active in the room, the spider is in a state of heightened alert but near total stillness. This is not rest. This is the predatory stillness of a system monitoring incoming data. Every footstep you take generates a vibration signature it has already cataloged. It knows your weight. It knows your gait. It has distinguished you from every other living thing that enters that room. When your daughter comes in to wake you up in the morning, the spider reads that as a different signature entirely. Lighter, faster, more erratic, different threat calculation, different response protocol. When the room goes quiet, when your breathing slows and regularizes in the way that signals deep sleep, the spider activates. Not dramatically, not with visible speed or aggression. It extends a testing leg onto the outer threads of its web and reads the room one more time. Then, if the data confirms what it already knows, it hunts. The hunting window is the hours between approximately midnight and 4 in the morning. This is when flying insects, driven by heat and carbon dioxide gradients towards sleeping mammals, reach peak density in the airspace around your head. The spider knows this not because it has read any study on insect behavior. It knows it because it has been calibrated by this exact environment over its entire lifespan. This room, these patterns, this prey. A single house spider in a standard bedroom will intercept anywhere between 3 and 8 prey items per night during an active hunting window. Moths, midges, gnats, fungus flies, most of them you will never see. They are processed within minutes, the evidence is removed, the web is repaired. By the time your alarm sounds, the spider is back in its settled position, still, waiting. The room reset to its ambient state, as if nothing happened. There is a detail that most people have never considered. The house spider almost never leaves its established territory voluntarily. Studies on cobweb spider site fidelity show that once a female establishes a web in a suitable location, the probability of voluntary relocation drops below 4%. That spider in your corner has, with overwhelming statistical likelihood, been in that specific corner for the entire duration of its adult life, which, for female cobweb spiders in sheltered indoor environments, can be anywhere from 1 to 3 years. 3 years of mapping your bedroom. 3 years of cataloging your schedules, your sounds, your patterns. 3 years of intercepting the insects drawn to your sleeping body before they could reach you. This is the part where the story shifts, because there is a version of this relationship that is genuinely uncomfortable. And there is another version that is something else entirely. The spider did not choose your bedroom to monitor you. It chose your bedroom because you, your warmth and your exhalations and your slow sleeping presence, are the engine of an ecosystem. You are the reason the prey comes. And the spider has positioned itself at the apex of that ecosystem with architectural precision. It is not watching you out of malice. It is not even watching you in any conscious sense of the word. It is running an ancient program in an extraordinarily effective way. The program was optimized over 400 million years of unbroken predatory pressure. The house spider's basic body plan, the web building architecture, the vibration sensing apparatus, the behavioral routines, all of it is older than the first dinosaur, older than the first flower, older than the first tree. And it found your bedroom. The question is not whether you are comfortable with that. The question is whether you have ever actually looked at the corner above your bed and understood what you were looking at. Not a harmless tenant, not a passive guest. A precision organism running a 400 million year old surveillance protocol inside the room where you are most vulnerable. Every single night. The next time you reach up to relocate it, understand what you are interrupting. A map that took weeks to build. A sensory network anchored to the geometry of your walls. A behavioral record of everything that moves in the space where you sleep. The spider will rebuild within 48 hours. It will anchor new threads to the same corner or one geometrically close to it. It will begin the mapping process again. Because the room is still warm, and you are still sleeping, and the insects are still coming. You were never the point, but you have always been the reason. While that spider reconstructs its network above your bed, a different kind of intelligence is already operating in the structure above your ceiling. Something that runs a colony. Something that enforces hierarchy through chemical signals and controlled violence. Click here to find out what is living in your walls and exactly how it has organized itself while you slept.